New year, new books, same old me. Hi, hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be talking about all the books that I'm most excited for that come out this year, 2023, because we're in 2023 now. I've told you about my least favorite books of last year. I've told you about my favorite books last year, so now it's time to tell you what I'm most excited to read this coming year. So hopefully some of these books I'm going to talk about today will make it on my list of my favorite books of 2023, but we'll see. Before we get into the list, I want to take a moment to tell you about today's sponsor, Ana Luisa. You've probably already heard me talk about Ana Luisa, but in case you're new here, let me tell you what they're about. Ana Luisa is a jewelry brand that prioritizes the planet, and their mission statement is that beautiful jewelry should not cost the planet. That is a mission statement I can get behind. And because of this, Ana Luisa is a climate neutral certified company. They are carbon neutral and water neutral, and all of their materials are ethically sourced. This just means you can shop for incredibly beautiful, elegant jewelry without having to worry about what harm you may be doing to the planet. Because spoiler alert, you won't be doing any. On top of all that, Ana Luisa also ships everything in recycled materials and uses little to no plastic in all of their packaging. All of their jewelry comes in these little canvas packages that I reuse all the time. I use them for traveling now. And in this one, we have a gift that I got from one of my friends. This is the Amara ring in mother of pearl. It's so beautiful. I would put it on, but it doesn't fit because my friend Wells has very dainty fingers. Since I've told you what Ana Luisa is all about, let me show you what pieces I got this time around. Today, I'm wearing 4 different pieces from Ana Luisa. First up, I have this necklace. This is the Hannah necklace that was actually helped designed by Hannah over at A Clockwork Reader, so a fellow booktuber had to support, and I'm obsessed with it. It's this beautiful gold chain with a pendant that has sort of an opalescent quality and a rose engraved in the middle. It's so pretty. I feel like I should be reading the Bronte sisters when I wear it. It just feels very classic. I'm wearing 2 Ana Luisa rings today. I am wearing this ring that is the mood ring, and it's very, very much like the mood rings that you would get in elementary school, except it's beautiful and like such high quality. I'm also wearing the Cleo ring, which is this serpent-like ring, and the snake has green gem eyes. It just makes me feel like a badass. And then lastly, I am wearing probably still my favorite thing I've ever got from Ana Luisa, which was the first pair of earrings that I got, and it is the Rocks Small earrings. They're sort of a geometric hoop. They're very simple, but they're just slightly different than a normal hoop, and I wear them almost every day. I can sleep peacefully at night like a little baby, knowing that none of these pieces of jewelry on me that I love so very much are in any way affecting the planet. So if you are interested in shopping for Ana Luisa, I will leave the link down below, but make sure to use SallyTims20 at checkout because you will get 20% off your order. Thank you, Ana Luisa, for hooking us up. All right, let's get into the video. Also, one thing to know about me is that I'm really horrible about keeping up with book news. At any given moment, I guarantee you I don't know what's coming out soon, what's on the horizon, who's publishing books. Like, I'm really bad at it. For somebody who's in the community, I don't know a thing. And I think part of that is because I read so many backlist titles. Every once in a while, I will go to the bookstore and buy a new book that's like just come out, like if it's Sally Rooney or, you know, one of my favorite authors. But for the most part, I'm reading backlist titles because those are the ones that I need to read for my videos, or because those are the ones that I've been interested in for a while, or because those are the ones that live on my shelves that I haven't read yet. So I had to like do research for this video to figure out what books were coming out this year, and I still may have missed some. So if I don't talk about a book you're looking forward to, let me know in the comments so that I can then look forward to it as well. I don't know, I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. First book that came to mind when I wanted to make this video was Happy Place by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry. People We Meet on Vacation and Book Lovers were both books that made my best books of 2022 list, and the books that really opened my eyes to the wonders of the romance genre. So I'm very excited for her new book. I don't fully know what it's about. I just know that it's by Emily Henry, so I'm gonna read it, and it's romance. But I do think that it takes place at a lake house, and that it's like these 2 couples that are like best friends as couples, but one of them has decided to break up, but they don't want to ruin the trip, so they don't tell the other couple that. So they go on this trip and continue to pretend to be together. So it's kind of like fake dating, except they're already together and they're just pretending to keep dating or being married or whatever. But that's all I know. So I know very little. But Emily Henry's books always just put a smile on my face and they make me so happy. So I'm really excited for a new installment, and maybe this book will become my new happy place. Okay, next, Brandon Taylor has a new book coming out. It's called The Late Americans. Real Life by Brandon Taylor was on my best books of 2022 list. I loved it so much. I'm very excited to read his next book, although I'm also terrified because Real Life made me so sad. Like so depressed. And while I do love a book about difficult topics and a book that makes me sad, that one made me so unbelievably sad. And so I'm scared that The Late Americans will do the same. But I'm still gonna read it as soon as it comes out. You bet your bottom dollar. I don't know what it's about at all. Let me find out. As far as I know, this book follows 4 young people, like they're adults, but like young adults, but not like young adult, like in their 20s, I think. This book follows 4 people that are all main characters who are at sort of a crossroads in their lives, and they're all in Iowa City. So it's once again set in a Midwestern town, just like Real Life. They are all just going through this year of change and growth, and they are greatly affected by all the people that live in Iowa City that they run into. So from like poets to like labor workers and stuff like that, all of these people kind of weave in and out of their lives and force them to learn things about themselves and each other, is what it seems to be. I'm very excited about it. It sounds great, and it sounds like exactly the kind of book I gravitate to, so I'm super stoked to get to it. I really want to check out Talia Hibbert's new book that's coming out this year. It's called Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. It's a YA romance, and I don't really read that much YA romance now, but I loved Take a Hint Danny Brown so much last year that I really want to read this new one because it sounds really cute. Basically, it follows a content creator and this like clean-cut jock. They somehow both end up in a survival course together where they're having to learn survival skills. And to me, that just sounds like a great setting for a YA romance. And so I want to read it because I think Talia Hibbert's really funny and really sweet. And so I'm excited to see her enter the arena. May the odds be ever in your favor, and see what's different about her YA as opposed to her adult work. Next, okay, GRADY HENDRIX has a new book coming out called How to Sell a Haunted House. And I actually haven't read any GRADY HENDRIX yet. I meant to read My Best Friend's Exorcism last October and I just didn't get to it, but I'm determined to read some GRADY HENDRIX because Sarah on Instagram has a horror book club, and GRADY HENDRIX is going to be the author that we're reading somewhere early in the year because he has a new book coming out called How to Sell a Haunted House. And I don't know anything about this except that it's haunted house, which is my favorite horror trope. And a realtor is involved, like a realtor's trying to sell a haunted house. And that sounds hilarious to me. And also like it could be super spooky. So I'm really stoked about this one. I think it's gonna be really funny. And I'm excited to read that and hopefully at least one other GRADY HENDRIX book before the book club meets because I want to dive in and see what all the fuss is about, all the rage. And GRADY HENDRIX is from my state. He's from Charleston. I think that's super cool, and I love reading authors that are local. I also cannot wait for Elliot Page's memoir, Page Boy. Elliot Page has been an actor I have loved for so long, ever since I first watched Juno, and following his transition and coming out and everything has been just really inspiring and wonderful to see. And so I just want to read about it from his own voice and his own perspective. There's nothing I need to know about the book besides it's Elliot Page's memoir, and I'm gonna read it. Next up on the list is You Could Make This Place Beautiful by Maggie Smith. I actually don't think I've read anything by Maggie Smith yet. Well, I've read some of her poetry that I found online, but I haven't read a full collection or like physical book of hers. But whenever I run into her poetry online, I'm so enamored with it. I think her writing is so beautiful and lyrical. And this is a memoir that she's written in lyrical vignettes, which reminds me of Bluettes by Maggie Nelson in the way that it's described. And it's her memoir that follows sort of the breakdown of her marriage and then a recommitment to living life on her own terms. And so it's about relationships and self-fulfillment and self-actualization, but also about motherhood and just how we live in the world and bear it all. Just because I know I love her poetry so much, I think this is a book that I'm gonna absolutely adore. And based on everything I've read about it so far, I can't wait to get my hands on it and read my first physical Maggie Smith book. Next we have Age of Vice by Deepti Kapoor, and this book I had not heard of until Margot on Instagram shared it at Margot Reddit. The way that she wrote about it, it was an instant add to cart for me. I don't super know what it's about. I think a violent incident or like attack or something, hit and run, something happens at the beginning, and then we follow the fallout through the perspective of 3 different characters, and it takes place in New Delhi. Oh my gosh, it sounds so good. Then I read Margot's review, and Margot says, Age of Vice is black bottomless velvet, full of sensual desire, alluring power, and unrelenting corruption. It's the satisfaction of an airtight alibi and the rush of needing such a thing in the first place. It's no risk, all reward. I recommend it if you're looking for trouble. Immediately adds to TBR, one of my most anticipated of the year. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. And I actually think it's already out. Like, I think it was published January 3rd. I'm excited about that one. Also, I make these videos sometimes where I'm like, these are books I'm looking forward to. And then I remember that I like to go into books as blind as a bat. And so half the time I can't even tell you what they're about. I'm just telling you that I'm excited to read them. Sorry. Next is Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenya. First of all, the cover, I was instantly intrigued. I said, Chain Gang All-Stars, what a title, what a cover. I have to know what it's about. And then I read, it's like a reimagining of gladiators, but it's the industrial prison complex in America, like as gladiators. Absolutely, immediately, I have to read it. These prisoners, they have to fight gladiator style for their freedom. I hate the American prison system with such a fiery burning passion that half of my papers in undergrad were about it. But I've only ever really read nonfiction about it, and while all of the nonfiction that I've read about it has been really incredible, shout out Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson and The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, two quintessential texts in my opinion. Even though I've loved the nonfiction, I love the idea of a novel that dives into this in sort of a twisted, almost dystopian way that sheds light on what's going on in for-profit prisons. But yeah, it's all about mass incarceration, the prison system, capitalism, systemic racism, all of these topics that I'm so fascinated by and find so incredibly important. I'm so excited to look at it through this interesting creative lens that uses this metaphor of Roman gladiators. It just is so brilliant. The idea is just so brilliant. Next on the list is Happy Couple by Nisha Dolan. I read Exciting Times in the first ever booktube video that I made, and I really, really loved it. It has Sally Rooney vibes. It's like a quiet, contemplative, Irish novel about a woman who's lost in her 20s. I really, really loved Nisha Dolan's writing style. And The Happy Couple is her newest release that follows this couple who is set to get married and the year leading up to their wedding, but also 3 people in their orbit, and all 5 of their lives sort of intersect and affect each other. And I know that the best man is in love with the groom secretly. The groom keeps having weird disappearances, and one of the characters is trying to figure out why he keeps disappearing. There's just a lot of stuff going on leading up to this wedding, and it's described as an ensemble novel. I'm excited because it sounds like this one is a little bit more plot heavy than Exciting Times, so I'm excited to see what she does with more plot and more characters when Exciting Times was really an in-depth character study of one person. And then last but not least, because actually most, is my most anticipated book of the year. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this book, and that is Good Women by Hallie Hill. Now, I might be biased because Hallie is a friend of mine and I love her so dearly, and I'm so unbelievably excited for her book to come out that I'm like jumping up and down. I've never been more excited for a book in my life. That being said, let me tell you what Good Women is all about. It is a collection of 12 short stories that each follow a different Black woman in the Appalachian South. Through the perspectives of these 12 different women, Hallie shows us the effects of generational trauma, of deep-rooted sense of place, of complex and intimate relationships. If there's one book on this list that I'm positive is going to be fantastic, it's Good Women by Hallie Hill. And it's available for pre-order now. I will leave the link in the bio because you should pre-order it. So I might be biased, but genuinely and truly, the concept of this combines all of the things I love most: short stories, complex narratives about the South, and an incredibly brilliant, talented, amazing author who I'm sure will weave it all together in a seamless, exciting, beautiful, compelling way. So if you want me to love you forever, and if you want to be best friends, support a debut Black woman author and a dope indie press, and pre-order Good Women today. It might sound like it, but I'm not getting paid to gush about Hallie. I just think she's brilliant. So those are the books I'm most looking forward to that I know are coming out this year. I'm sure there's gonna be other ones. Let me know if you'd want to see a video where I tell you what I'm most excited to read that's not necessarily being published this year, but just like backlist titles, stuff I know I'm gonna read this year that I can't wait to get to. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. If you want to do any of the following things: be a part of a super dope book club, learn about Shakespeare in an exciting and accessible way, be a part of an amazing online community, or have my love and affection till the end of time, you can get all of that for the low price of $2 a month at my Patreon. The link is in the description. I love my patrons so much. Shout out to you all. You make my days better. But if you want to support me without opening your wallet, you can click the subscribe button down below, like this video, and comment down below and tell me which books you're most looking forward to coming out this year. If you want to follow me on any socials, all the links will be down below. Thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to shop and use code SallyTims20 for 20% off your order. And in case you haven't heard it today, I love you. Bye.